My stepdaughter showed up at midnight with suitcases and a chore list, certain my house was already hers. My husband stood silent while she handed me orders. I just smiled and said, okay. By 6 a.m., I'd called the police and rewritten every rule in that house. At 6 the next morning, I served breakfast on paper plates, 2 boiled eggs, plain toast, black coffee, nothing greasy enough to offend anyone. Madison walked in wearing silk pajamas, eyes on her phone. What is this? Breakfast. Dad told you I eat protein pancakes. I looked at my husband, Robert. He wouldn't meet my eyes. You wrote no greasy food on your list, I said. This isn't greasy. Her husband, Evan, wandered in. Where's the oat milk? In the fridge. You're supposed to pour it for him, Madison said. I smiled, the same calm smile I'd worn the night before, when they showed up unannounced with suitcases and handed me a list of demands. Breakfast at 6, fresh sheets weekly, bathroom cleaned nightly, their laundry done by hand, a chore list for an unpaid maid. So I placed my own sheet of paper on the island. What's that? Madison asked. My list. House rules. Rent is $2,000 a month. Utilities split 3 ways. Everyone does their own laundry. Quiet hours at 10. Madison laughed. You can't charge us rent. This is Dad's house. It's our house, I said. My name's on the deed. Half the down payment was mine. Robert's face went white. Dad? Madison turned on him. Laura, don't start, he muttered. I pulled a folder from the drawer. I hadn't slept. I'd spent the whole night going through the deed, the mortgage, the prenup Robert insisted on before we married. You have until noon, I told them. Sign the roommate agreement, pay week 1, follow the rules, or take your bag somewhere else. Evan stared at me. You're serious? The doorbell rang. Madison smirked. Good. Maybe someone reasonable is here. I opened the door. A police officer stood next to a locksmith holding a toolbox. Behind me, Robert whispered, Laura, what have you done? What you should have done last night, I said. At 3:18 that morning, while Robert slept on the sofa pretending I'd offended him, I'd called the non-emergency police line. 2 adults had walked into my house and announced they were staying for good. I wanted a witness. I wanted this documented. This is ridiculous, Madison said. We're family. You're Robert's daughter, I told her. You're not my tenant. You're my guest, only if I agree to it. They lost their apartment, Robert said. Madison called crying. What was I supposed to do? Tell your wife. Silence dropped over the kitchen. Evan gave a bitter laugh. We'll leave. We just need a few weeks. You need a hotel, I said. Dad, say something, Madison begged. The officer spoke calmly. If Mrs. Clark doesn't consent, it's best you leave before this becomes a bigger issue. Madison started crying on command. You'd put your own daughter on the street? You're 31, I said. Your husband's 33. You arrived in an SUV with designer luggage. You're not homeless. You're inconvenienced. Evan claimed they couldn't afford a hotel. Interesting, I said. Your Instagram had you drinking $40 cocktails in Napa last week. Madison's mouth opened. Nothing came out. You checked her account? Robert asked. No, her aunt sent it to me. After Madison told the family I'd be eager to serve once you moved in. The color drained from her face. I turned to Vince, the locksmith. Which locks would you like changed? He asked. Front door, garage, side gate. That's excessive, Robert said. She arrived at midnight knowing exactly which room she intended to sleep in, I said. Why would I assume she doesn't already have a key? Something flickered in Madison's eyes. I looked at Robert. Ask her. He turned to his daughter, voice barely above a whisper. Madison, do you have a key? She looked away. For emergencies, she said. I laughed once, sharp, disbelieving. An emergency key to my house that I never knew existed. Robert closed his eyes. I looked at both of them standing in my kitchen with their suitcases and their list and their silk pajamas, and I said the only thing left to say. Pack. Full story on channel, link below.